I'm Shalja Lal. I head the insurance and reinsurance practice of Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas. And here I'm going to talk to you about the impact of COVID-19 on our insurance policies. As the world is grappling with COVID-19 and its impact on human life and economies, corporates are in the midst of responding to the COVID-19 outbreak on multiple fronts, including as insureds or claimants under insurance policies. One of the immediate cause of concern for corporates is to ensure safety of their employees and business continuity. The central government has issued strict norms for controlling the spread of COVID-19, including social distancing norms, closure of educational institutions, cancellations of major sports and entertainment events, travel and business restrictions, advisories on work from home, and social distancing. So apart from severely impacting life, health and travel, COVID-19 has led to a significant negative impact on our economies, both in India and at the global level. This has affected supply chains and staffing and has led to cessation of business operations, increased cost of working in view of precautionary measures and market volatility. Now, what will be the impact of the lockdown on the Indian insurance sector? Historically, businesses have implemented detailed insurance programs for ensuring protection against risks such as fire incidents, earthquakes, and other natural calamities. It was not anticipated that risks such as COVID-19 would expose corporates to losses of such magnitude. So let's analyze the implications of COVID-19 on insurance policies. The first type of policy which comes to mind is of course health insurance, which is high priority. The health and safety of employees is the biggest priority for businesses these days. Most organizations already offer cover to employees under group medical insurance plans, which do cover hospitalization benefits, including arising out of a pandemic. So death due to such situations are also covered under standard life insurance and medical insurance policies. Still, one of the immediate action points for businesses would be to confirm coverage for COVID-19 under the specific wording of their group health and medical insurance. The MHA has issued guidelines which make it mandatory for businesses which resume post-lockdown to have health insurance cover for their workers. So this must be confirmed, especially the terms of coverage. The Indian insurance regulator, the IRDA, is proactively reviewing the situation and has directed insurers to expeditiously settle COVID-19 related hospitalization claims and cover admissible medical expenses during the quarantine period as per policy terms. The IRDA has directed insurers to design products covering treatment costs for COVID-19 to meet health insurance requirements of various sections of the population. Based on the pandemic unraveling in India, few insurers have already devised such health products on both an individual and a group level, including to cover staff of large organizations. These are in the nature of the standard Mediclaim products as well as critical illness products, which assure a sum insured in case you are diagnosed as having contracted COVID-19. Such products will be particularly useful for addressing risks associated with corporate travel when the pandemic subsides. Further, digital insurers and intermediaries, based on their robust IT infrastructure, have been able to meet the strong demand for online sale of health insurance policies. However, the option to provide cashless hospitalization may be a challenge if there is a surge in numbers. Other challenges include cover for hospitalization in makeshift hospitals and setting up of new facilities to the growing healthcare requirements. Now moving on to business interruption losses, let's look at some of the lessons learned. Business worldwide are looking at existing business interruption insurance plans to overcome the economic impact of the virus. As COVID-19 is expected to linger over a long time globally, business losses due to impact on supply chains, infection in employees or workers, as well as mandatory and voluntary and governmental shutdowns will be seen as key risks sought to be covered by insurance. In India, the story is not that different, as business interruption covers business interruption losses only if there is an underlying property damage. Cover is typically not available for business losses due to pandemics or viral outbreaks. It is also extremely difficult to price contingency-based PI plans which cover pandemic risk. Even if the cover was offered in the future, it would be limited protection with strict terms and higher pricing. It will also need to be seen what are the terms which are set by the reinsurers for such covers. The Confederation of India Traders has appealed to the Indian government to instruct IRDA and insurers to devise appropriate add-on business interruption covers that could be attached to existing standard property insurance covers for overcoming loss of profit due to pandemics such as COVID-19. Given the negative impact on the economy, it is likely that the IRDA may come up with appropriate directions for insurers to make available business interruption products which provide coverage against disruptions due to epidemics or pandemics. Such insurance products are fairly complex and Indian insurers may require some time to make them available in the market. On the whole, we expect drastic changes in the manner in which business interruption insurance is perceived and applied in the business world, and the pricing of risks will depend on the preparedness of organizations for pandemics and epidemics. Moving on to property and burglary insurance. Given the uncertainty and the environment which has been brought about by COVID-19, where government-imposed lockdowns or voluntary work-from-home regimes could become very common, unoccupied space, offices, warehouses, or factory premises will be more prone to burglary or even fire risks. It would be prudent for corporates to evaluate if such risks are duly covered under their existing insurance program. For instance, under the standard fire and allied perils wording, if the building insured or containing the insured property becomes unoccupied for more than 30 days, the insured is required to take the insurer's written approval to ensure continuity of coverage. How many insureds have actually done that yet? Special attention to insurance coverage and communications with insurers will go a long way in ensuring that if unforeseen events do take place, the financial consequences are covered by insurers. An uncertain environment resulting from high contagion will surely have a huge impact on existing risk management strategies deployed by corporates to protect their properties. Moving on to event and contingency cover. As the Indian government has implemented several restrictions on international travel, many international and domestic events have been already cancelled and postponed. These include very high-profile sporting events such as the Olympics. Depending on what scenario unfolds in the next few weeks or months, there will be a rise in demand for event cancellation and contingency policies. Such policies generally cover financial loss due to perils beyond the control of the insured when such perils result in cancellation, postponement, curtailment, or abandonment of an event. Event contingency policies often prescribe various conditions on the insured for mitigating losses, such as exercising rescheduling options. In the wake of the pandemic, insureds must carefully assess the coverage offered under event contingencies and action plans. The exact policy terms will eventually determine if cancellations, postponements due to COVID are covered. Now let's talk about the D&O insurance and the employment practices liability insurance, which will impact most large corporates. While ensuring continued regulatory compliance, employee protection and business operations, senior management of companies will be impacted by reduced staff and issues are expected in manufacturing, production lines, and supply chains. It will be useful for corporates to have a clear, comprehensive, and documented contingency plan to address risks of claims on D&Os, which is directors and officers, from employees, regulatory stakeholders, shareholders, and investors. Companies may also assess adequacy of existing D&O insurance products for such risks. In the United States, lawsuits have been filed against certain entities by their shareholders on disclosures made in relation to the impact of COVID-19 on the business. As the last quarter of 2020 has come to an end, financial results may be vastly impacted from the outbreak, and the manner in which the companies communicate the impact to the shareholders could affect the company's potential involvement in D&O claims. Similarly, the possibility of employees taking legal action against the directors, officers, or managers of a company for any failure to protect employees from COVID-19 exposure cannot be ruled out. Financial market volatility will likely impact the capital strength of insurers and other financial institutions. This cannot be ruled out, but businesses may be forced to lay off employees, and such steps could lead to claims from employees. Several Indian companies may need a fresh evaluation of their strategy for such risks through procuring appropriate employee practices liability insurance policies. Even if there is no wrong committed by the company, the costs incurred to defend such liability could prove to be costly. Moving on to liability insurance, there's been a rise in the COVID-19 infections, and that could significantly increase staff absences due to illness or self-quarantine, thereby impacting services of professional services firms such as ours. Such firms will operate in a scenario where chances of negligence or errors and omissions and delay in meeting contractual commitments are higher. Many businesses could look towards professional indemnity insurance to safeguard them against such risk in a jittery economy. There may be instances of third-party claims and litigation against companies as a result of staff passing on the infection to customers, and corporates must assess the protection offered under their existing general liability insurance policies for such risks. Moving on to cyber security and data risk, I think all of us will agree that this is one of the biggest risks that we are going to face in coming times. As more employees work from home, the effectiveness of IT systems and data security plans of organizations will be critical. A transformed work environment will undoubtedly increase data and cyber risk, including network interruptions, as there will be greater reliance on technology. Further, in an environment of misinformation and panic, organizations will be more susceptible to cyber frauds. Businesses will need to devise stringent data protection strategies, as sensitive information will leave company premises to homes of employees for continuity in services. Undoubtedly, the appetite for cybersecurity insurance covers is expected to grow significantly among Indian corporates. Lastly, let's talk about trade credit insurance very briefly. COVID-19 has already led to a negative impact on the economy, and if the market conditions do not improve, then recession will definitely threaten the global economy, if it already has not, which may result in an increase in the insolvency crisis. It is important for policyholders to review their trade credit programs as well as insurance covers to ensure that financial losses are duly covered by insurers. Business impacted by the pandemic should review the business risks before taking any important decisions. As COVID-19 continues to impact the global economy, businesses facing uncertain times will rely on force majeure clauses and insurance policies for an effective solution. Understanding the applicable contractual provisions, law, and choice of effective remedy will allow businesses to limit the negative impact of COVID-19. First and foremost, businesses should strongly consider two primary questions, namely, 1. Whether there could be any coverage for losses due to COVID-19 under the existing policies, and B. What could be the continuity plans. Affected parties, should start reviewing the insurance policy wordings in order to determine the scope of coverage available and to what extent losses are covered. Thank you.